Hello, and welcome to Focus. My name is Janisha Surgeon, and I will be your host for this edition of Focus. We will spend the next half hour taking a look at the interesting presentations delivered at the Disaster Recovery Workshop that was held on 3rd September 2015. If you operate a business in the BVI, then this edition of Focus is for you. So stay tuned to this channel. We'll be right back after this quick commercial break.
The Department of Disaster Management is located at number 3 Whaling Road, McNamara, Tortola. Our mission is to protect lives and maintain a resilient, stable economy and society by fostering comprehensive disaster management and climate change adaptation as a way of life. For all your disaster management needs, contact the Department of Disaster Management at 468-4200 to speak with one of our knowledgeable staff. That's 468-4200. Or you can visit our website at www.bviddm.com. We're also on Facebook and you can follow us on Twitter. The Department of Disaster Management, your life-saving connection.
Water up to my belly, mattress floating, furniture floating, even the TV set floated for a while, you know?
My sneakers are floating just like boats.
Floods. They can happen so suddenly. What can you do?
Listen, when I saw the portable toilet from the construction site up the road float by and I realized that all that stuff was in the water.
Floods. Hazards. Take control. Reduce your loss. What can you do to help stop flooding? Keep drains and wells clean and unblocked. Find out lots more about floods and other hazards at your local disaster office. A message from the Department of Disaster Management.
Welcome back to Focus. Tropical Shipping has been a supporter of disaster management for many years, and in September, they supported the delivery of a disaster recovery workshop right here in the BVI that targeted businesses that operate throughout our islands. Over 70 persons attended the workshop, which was designed to bring about awareness of the need for businesses to focus on business continuity and recovery planning. The workshop was organized under the theme, Ensuring a Resilient Economy Through Partnerships in Disaster Recovery, and was financed by the Caribbean Central American Action and Tropical Shipping. The workshop was held at the Marias by the Sea Conference Room. At the opening of the ceremony, Dr. The Honorable D. Orlando Smith said that he was pleased to know that this workshop was organized through a public-private partnership between the Department of Disaster Management and Tropical Shipping.
I must express my sincere gratitude to Chief Executive Officer of Tropical Shipping, Mr. Rick Morrell, and his team, Jennifer Newton-Hill and Leroy Moses, as well as Sally Yearwood, the Executive Director of the Caribbean Central American Action, who have made this workshop possible and have covered all associated costs to ensure full participation by the business community. I congratulate members of the business community who are here today to take advantage of this learning experience. Your presence here today says that you understand that the capacity of any organization to recover from a disaster is directly related to the degree of business continuity planning that has taken place. My role in the disaster management program is to support the areas of hazard mitigation and recovery planning through the Virgin Islands Comprehensive Disaster Management Strategy. I'm therefore very aware of the work that is needed in the event of any hazard impact to ensure that the BVI business community can recover quickly and resume operation with little downtime.
The workshop provided an opportunity for representatives of local businesses to come together through the support of the BVI Chamber of Commerce and Hotel Association, Rotown Wholesales, and various Rotary clubs in the territory.
One of the mantras of my government is to ensure that all businesses have greater access to training, and I'm pleased that this business recovery operations is one such opportunity that will help to meet that goal. I believe that strengthening businesses' capacity means exposing people to new ideas that allow for continued effective operation of their establishments following any disaster. The more prepared the people are, the better they are with facing the unknown. In essence, today is about strengthening and developing business capacity. Industry analysts claim that 2 out of 5 businesses that experience a disaster will go out of business within 5 years of the event. These statistics highlight the necessity of all of us taking a proactive approach and preventive actions to bounce back or reduce the impact of hazards or disasters on business operations.
When we return, you will hear from CEO of Tropical, Mr. Rick Morrell, who had some very inspiring words for the participants. We will be right back.
The house was shaking. Then suddenly saw we hear bang, crack, and the roof had gone.
Man, I was so scared, I nearly wet myself.
Only those who have lived it can truly understand the devastating fury of a hurricane's wind.
The house across the road just get up and roll over.
Hurricane force wind. It's a hazard. Hazards. Take control. Reduce your loss. You can hurricane-proof your home. For example, make your roof more wind-resistant by using screws instead of nails in its construction. Find out more about hurricane force winds and other hazards at your local disaster office. A message from the Department of Disaster Management.
A little rainfall and you come home and your house gone. Gone. I never thought this would happen to me.
Told them it could happen, but they never paid me no mind. Never.
The whole road gone down the hill.
Landslides happen all the time. Sometimes little, sometimes big. Hazards. Take control. Reduce your loss. You can do something about landslides. Trees and shrubs on hillsides bind earth together and help stop landslides. Preserve vegetation. Stop landslides. Find out more at your local disaster office. A message from the Department of Disaster Management.
I heard about storm surge on TV, but didn't really know what it was.
I found the wipe test out. The sea swept away everything. All gone.
The waves were higher than the house.
The devastating force of a storm surge is awesome. Wave after wave. Tons and tons of water lashing and smashing down all before it. Storm surge. It's a hazard. Hazards. Take control. Reduce your loss. If you live alongside the seaside, sooner or later, storm surge, the big waves and high seas caused by a storm will threaten your property. Plan for it. Build for it. Maybe don't build there at all. Find out more about storm surge and other hazards at your local disaster office. A message from the Department of Disaster Management.
Chief Executive Officer and President of Tropical Shipping, Mr. Rick Morrell, who started his career with Tropical as far back as 1969, spoke about the importance of strong leadership during times of disasters. He encouraged the business representatives to consider 3 important factors when developing their business continuity and recovery plans.
The most important thing for each of you personally, I'm talking about you, your family, not somebody else, for you, have enough food for 10 days to survive 10 days for you and your family. If you don't have that in the house, you're going to be in trouble. Water. Have enough water for 10 days. Because if a very significant event happens, it will take that long for you maybe to get things going. So that's number one. Number 2, everybody that works for you or alongside of you, you have to think of them as your family. If you're a company and you own a company, or you are a manager of a company, every employee that works for you, whether you're a government or whether you're a private company or an NGO, you must believe that these people are like family. And if the company does not have, or the government department doesn't have a way of taking care and helping the people who work for them, you won't have employees to come to work. Look at New Orleans. The police left. The firemen left. Why? Because they had nobody was going to take care of them and their family. So, item 1, you must have 10 days of food. Item 2, you must believe that your co-workers are your family. If you can think of that, you will bridge the first major step in recovery. Without it, it's nothing. And the one thing that we've been able to achieve is really having our employees believe we will take care of them. When Gene and Francis and all those storms hit Florida back in 04, 05, we were feeding, the schools were closed. It was, you know, and then if the schools are closed and the families have got nobody to look after the children, then you don't have an employee. No. Bring the kids to work. We had all the conference rooms, offices vacated. We had, you know, 1 to 3-year-olds being looked after in one area. We had, you know, teenagers watching videos in another area. I mean, you know, you have to think of everybody as family. There was no food. I mean, it's hard to imagine, but I mean, where we are in Palm Beach, Florida, there wasn't a supermarket open. There wasn't a restaurant open for at least 10 days. At least 10 days. Nothing. So we had, for everybody in Tropical, we called a restaurant in Miami and said, "Do you do takeout?" "Yes, we can take it." "Okay, fine. I want takeout for about 400 people, and I want you to deliver every day at 12 noon. And every day at 12 noon, we fed not just our employees, we fed our families, the kids that couldn't go to school. We had to find homes for people that lost their homes. Some of them we put up in our own home. But disasters don't just come from hurricanes. You only got to think back to that little island off Italy. Little tiny place. And a big cruise ship went by. And somebody made a mistake. Boom! The cruise ship crossed the cruise lines, sank right there. But things happen. You know, things happen. It's how do you as a community respond to your fellow human beings? To your family, the rest of your family in your company or your office. And when you take everything that you could read or understand from all the experiences we've had since Hurricane Hugo, September 17, 1989, the most important thing that we've learned are those 2 things that I've told you. You must have a plan. People must work for you, must believe that you will take care of that. That they can bring their kids to school if you've lost it, or to the office if school's closed. That you care. And you know what? It'll work. And it doesn't matter where you're at, it'll work. And, you know, unfortunately, you know, I feel terrible for Dominica that had huge landslides, you know, major cutoffs in the roads, and you know, 12 inches of rain or something, whatever it was, in 5 hours. And it's just catastrophic. So those are the 2 elements. And I'm going to give you the last element. Please work with Charlene. I've been doing this for a long time. And I can tell you, Charlene is unique. And you are blessed to have her because she's got a lot of energy, a lot of good ideas. And just use that. Take the courses. Have somebody in your company or your business or your government office go take your course. It's critical. And the last thing, so there are 3 things, okay? Food for 10 days for yourself. Not that I repeat this, okay? Food for 10 days for yourself and your family. Absolute assurance that the people that work for you, you treat as family yourselves, and that they know that, and that you have a plan that they understand that. And the last thing, the 3rd thing that I'm going to talk about is leadership. And leadership isn't the top person in the company. Leadership is everybody believing that in a disaster, that they've got the right to make some decisions Maybe some will be wrong, but maybe most of them might be right, since we're all human beings and we care for one another. So leadership, and leadership is really critical. We had, in one of the storms that hit St. Thomas, you know, it was our pilot that went and cleared the runway after Hugel in Singapore. He walked down that runway and took stuff off. You know, he didn't wait for somebody else to come along. He landed, he sort of missed all the stuff, then he went and cleared the runway as best he could. Another storm in St. Thomas, and one of our guys basically went and got forklifts so that the big military aircraft that were bringing National Guard in could unload. Didn't ask anybody, but just got it done. So having that kind of flexibility and decision making, and not, you know, whipping the people afterwards for making a decision, it's critical. I've had some decisions that were wrong. That's okay. You know, you learn by your mistakes. So those are the key elements that I want you to go away with. Enough food for 10 days, always. Make sure that, you know, you've got everybody treated as family, and provide leadership yourself. So when you look in the mirror in the morning, can I give leadership to that issue, to whatever issue it is? In your daily life, you're all using leadership to some degree. But in a disaster, leadership is critical.
Several speakers delivered presentations, including BVI Assistant Governor for Rotary International District 7020, Ms. Delma Maduro. She spoke about the importance of partnerships, especially in the area of disaster management.
While we have an excellent Department of Disaster Management, collaboration and partnerships are necessary to achieve a high level of success in minimizing disaster hazards and building resiliency. In this vein, I am very pleased to have witnessed the signing of a memorandum of understanding yesterday between the Department of Disaster Management and the Rotary and Rotaract clubs of the BVI. This is an MOU that will have additional partners such as Red Cross and others. And I wish to recognize President Ryan Gluck, who has been the liaison for this MOU. I am sure that many of you are aware that Rotary is a service organization of Rotary clubs around the world with members who take on important issues in our communities. Just over 200 local Rotarians and approximately 60 Rotaractors here in the BVI are part of that large network of 1.2 million Rotarians and 186,000 Rotaractors who, among other things, provide humanitarian service.
Another major supporter of the workshop was President of the BVI CCHA, Mr. Lewis Potter.
I'm very pleased to be here to represent the BVI Chamber of Commerce and Hotel Association. We, at one time, were 250 organizations. Today we are just over 150 organizations trying to ensure that the BVI is a better place and have a strong, robust economy. Now, when one talks about disaster, you know, and we know that since we live in the tropics, we will be affected by hurricanes. But a hurricane can either be an incident or it can be a disaster. It's an incident because we know it will come. And anything that happens is an incident. But the key is that once it happens, the day after, we should be able to get up, brush off, and go about our business. Or it could be a situation where the hurricane comes, we were ill prepared, and we discover that we are now crippled, can't help ourselves, and need help from somebody else. That's a disaster. The BVI, through our forefathers, who have developed and practice a very strong building practice in the British Virgin Islands have ensured that in the British Virgin Islands, hurricane incidents, when they occur, they may mash up the roads. But the few buildings that are affected are very few, simply because we practice and we prepare well. We want to encourage BVI businesses to begin to ensure that they too practice and prepare well. And one of the things that I've always spoken about when I thought about when I think about disaster management, the very first meeting I attended, tropical shipping, were present at a meeting. And one of the things that always stuck in my mind is that the tropical shipping people say that whenever a storm prepares for the Caribbean, they think about the different countries it's about to strike, and they pack a badge with goods and put it in a different area. And once the storm passes, that ship heads for that port, so that whatever happens, they're ready to assist the country. And they bring ice and water, which are very critical elements. So therefore, we know we have a very good partner in tropical shipping. So with disaster preparedness and tropical shipping and the resilient practice of BVI tradesmen, BVI is in good shape.
Tropical Shipping has agreed to support a second workshop that will focus specifically on supporting businesses who wish to get assistance in drafting or revising their business continuity and recovery plans. This workshop will take place on Friday, 16th October 2015. If you wish to sign up for this workshop, please contact the Department of Disaster Management at 468-4200 or email us at bviddm@surfbvi.com. Until next time, I am Janisha Sargent. Thank you for watching.